JFK Airport bustled with its usual chaos as travelers rushed past one another. Families clutched passports, business flyers stayed glued to their phones, and children tugged at their parents' sleeves. But Officer Ryan Keller remained focused, trained to see what others missed, with his loyal German shepherd Shadow walking at his side, ears twitching and nose constantly searching. They had patrolled these halls countless times before, and nothing ever seemed different, until suddenly Shadow froze, muscles stiff, tail straight, eyes locked ahead as if catching something invisible, and Ryan, frowning, followed his partner's gaze through the stream of passengers to a little girl no older than 7 whose hand was tightly clutched by a woman in a bright blue coat. Nothing unusual at first glance. But then Ryan noticed the girl's free hand pressed flat against the woman's back in a trembling, deliberate signal, her shoulders hunched, eyes glued to the floor, lips pressed shut with fear. And in that moment Ryan knew something was terribly wrong. And then the girl dared one quick glance, her eyes meeting Shadow's, wide, pleading, shimmering with fear, before darting back down, and Ryan's stomach sank because this wasn't coincidence, it was a cry for help. "All right boy, show me," he muttered as Shadow surged forward, paws clicking against the polished floor, and Ryan followed, weaving through the crowd while the woman in the blue coat never looked back, her grip on the child's wrist firm and controlling, the girl's trembling hand pressing against the coat again in a desperate signal Ryan knew all too well from people too afraid to speak. And Shadow's low growl rumbled in his chest, though most travelers, distracted and busy, didn't notice, but Ryan did, trailing them until they reached the security checkpoint where the woman handed over documents with a smile too rehearsed and a voice too sweet. The officer at the desk frowning at papers that didn't add up, and then Shadow barked, a single sharp commanding sound that cut through the entire terminal, freezing everyone in place as the girl's lips trembled, forming silent words Ryan could read even without sound. "Help me." And in that instant his heart dropped as he noticed a little boy beside her, no older than 5, clutching a stuffed toy like it was the only safe thing in his world. The woman's smile cracked as she snapped, "Is there a problem, officer? These are my children." But her grip tightened painfully on the girl's wrist, making her flinch as Shadow barked again, louder this time, teeth flashing as he lunged against the leash, and the crowd began to circle, whispers spreading quickly. Ryan stepped forward, flashing his badge and saying firmly, "Ma'am, I need you to step aside," but she shot back sharply, "We have a flight to catch, you're wasting your time." Though Ryan didn't budge, and the girl's tear-filled eyes, silent and desperate, pushed him to make the call. "Take them in for questioning now." As security closed in and the woman resisted, her voice high and angry, until they were pulled into a private room where her mask cracked completely, the girl's trembling hands clutching each other as she whispered the words that shattered the lie. "She's not my mother," and silence fell as Shadow, resting by the door, lifted his head like he'd been waiting for that truth all along, while investigators quickly checked the documents, finding they didn't match, and under pressure, the woman's story collapsed, revealing she wasn't a mother at all. She was part of a trafficking ring, moving children under false names right under everyone's noses, and as the girl clung to her younger brother with tears spilling down her cheeks, whispering, "I tried to signal but no one saw me," Ryan knelt beside her, voice soft and eyes steady, replying gently, "Someone did," before glancing at Shadow, whose calm, watchful gaze said everything, while the woman was led away in handcuffs, her protests drowned out by the undeniable truth, and the crowd outside stood frozen with a memory they would never forget. For the first time, the little girl's shoulders eased as she sank to the floor, wrapping her arms tightly around Shadow's thick fur and whispering, "Thank you," into his neck, making Ryan swallow hard as he blinked back emotion, because in that moment it was clear that heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they walk on 4 paws. And if this story touched your heart, don't just scroll past but repost and share it with someone who believes in loyalty, forgiveness, and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. Let this moment be heard. Tap the like button if you believe every hero deserves to be remembered. Drop a heart in the comments if you've ever loved an animal like family. And don't forget to follow or subscribe for more powerful true stories that stay with you long after they end.